with very simple baits, fishing here at Winding Rivulet and specifically for gudgeon. So an extremely simple setup, the simplest feeder rods, ideally just with the feeder set start. And off we go, targeting really valuable fish. So quite simply fishing here at Winding Rivulet to push your percentages and at the same time, of course, also make a bit of silver on the side. That is possible here at a spot like this. So you just go to a place along Winding Rivulet and test 3, 4, 5 different baits. And at some point you realize that at that spot, it works really well, that you can catch one fish or another very reliably, and that with it, you can also make really good silver. The important thing is simply that you get a good frequency. That is the alpha and omega. So small hooks, small baits, and then pull out one fish after another here so that you simply catch as many fish as possible here. And when you catch so many fish, then of course you can also complete as many café orders as possible. And that is always really good because through that you earn very good silver. And with a spot like this in such a simple setup, you are also able to make well over 100 silver within 1 hour without any problems. And if among these small fish every now and then maybe even a trophy goes in, well, then that boosts you forward even more. Because the prices of these small fish were significantly increased again years ago. And accordingly we received really good silver for such small fish, and of course even more for such trophies. I have now only been here at the spot for about 30 minutes, and specifically here at Winding Rivulet, right up in the bend. So a position that regularly works quite well. Another position would be up here at 120. That also works quite well again and again. Or also here in this area, there are several spots here at Winding Rivulet that are worth it. You can practically stand somewhere every 15 meters, and you will certainly find a possibility to catch fish here at this water. So no matter where you walk, even right next to here, that is a classic spot, so not far away at all. Then as I said over here, on the other side, that works quite well again and again. Then we are already here at 120, cast here toward the trees. And here at this spot in front, here as well, it works quite well again and again. So there are numerous spots. At Winding Rivulet, you really only have to throw something in somewhere, and you will already catch fish here. The big question, however, is always, which baits should you use? And that can be tested very simply. Especially in the beginning, you simply buy one bait box here, and with such a bait box, you already have a variety of different baits. By the way, this is also already explained to you in the bottom fishing tutorial. So if you are still a bit clueless about bottom fishing, definitely take a look at that bottom fishing playlist. There it is explained to you which baits make sense, where it is best to fish, and which rods and reels are worth buying. And of course we continue here. Yes, gudgeon is worth it. And yes, at this spot I started here first, only with a small size 20 hook. And when I realized that there are quite a few gudgeon here, I moved up now to a size 18 hook, so a bit bigger again. And the whole thing here on a fine setup, so only the size 18 hook, and here the bloodworm. I am actually still relatively heavy here with 6.8 kilograms. If you are standing here with the feeder set start, you are probably even fishing with an even finer setup. Here, a leader of 3 kilograms or 4 kilograms is completely sufficient. With such a simple setup, you are very well able to fish here at Winding Rivulet. Yes, the gudgeon is mainly active during the day. That means we are now slowly already reaching the evening hours. So it may very well be that it becomes less with the gudgeon and that other fish bite during the night. That is also completely okay, because the fish during the night are also worth it here at Winding Rivulet. If you catch Donnet's ruff here, for example, that is an extremely lucrative fish. At the position here where I'm standing right now, I'm fishing with a line clip of 6 or 7 meters, depending on where you stand. If you stand a bit further forward, then 6 meters might already be enough. I'm standing here pretty much exactly on this edge with a 7-meter line clip. That works quite well too. And then I simply cast out here loosely. It does not even have to be completely precise. So roughly in terms of distance, that is already fine. And if you notice that at the moment when you are at the spot, nothing is working, then simply vary the line clip as well. Then you set the first rod to 6 meters, the second to 7 meters, and the third rod to 8 meters. This way, you not only have variation in width, but also in depth. And through that, you can determine at which distance it works best. Yes, compared to the size 20 hook, the frequency here is actually a little lower. So, with the size 20 hook, there were clearly more fish, but with the size 18 hook, you simply have a better chance to catch a trophy here. Typical baits for fishing for gudgeon are actually all worm types and larva types. So the normal earthworm is always a good option, but also the compost worm, and then of course also the various larvae, the bark beetle larva, the maggot, the caddisfly larva, or you can also simply try castor. With castor, you can also fish very well on the bottom, and through that you have a better chance that maybe even a dace bites. I will now simply use a maggot again as bait, just to test that. And here on the next rod, I will maybe test another bait again. And here I will simply also take castor once more. Yes, and all in all, that is basically it already. Very simple fishing here at Winding Rivulet. It is one of the best possibilities to make silver and experience and percentages in bottom fishing. Because here at this water, we hardly need anything at all. So you do not need any special ground bait in order to fish successfully here. You simply hold the baits in the water, and because you have such good frequency here, you also earn quite good silver. So, 30 minutes at the spot, and already over 40 fish caught. That is always a very good sign when you catch more fish than the number of minutes you have been standing at a spot. Well, look at that. Even here on the maggot, the gudgeon are still going in. Yes, that is exactly how it should be. So test baits, try things out, and make silver with it. And before it gets dark now, we will quickly take a look again at how much silver that actually was in these 30 minutes. So let us see how much silver this has brought now. And first, of course, into the café. And here we actually also have the gudgeon, namely the small gudgeon. So 5 times the smallest gudgeon. Already Vestine's gudgeon. That already brings 16 silver. Unfortunately, other fish are not included now, which means we have 16 silver here now. And if we now sort by price, we additionally have in these 30 minutes another 112 silver. That means that in 30 minutes, without catching a special fish, without catching a trophy, we have already made over 120 silver. So very, very simple fishing with a very simple setup, and of course with very simple, inexpensive baits. That is how you make extremely effective silver. You can do this throughout the entire day. You can also simply continue fishing the entire night. During the night, tend to use worms, and during the day, use different larvae, and in this way, you are able to make silver continuously. And if after 1 hour the spot becomes a bit tired, then simply move, just like shown earlier, 10 meters further, 15 meters further, and look for a nice spot that might work just as well. That is how easy it is to make silver at Winding Rivulet. And if this helped you, leave a thumbs up. Do not forget to subscribe to the channel. That helps me as well. And we will see each other in the next video. Until then, tight lines.